Hi everybody, it's Janet and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about glue dots, and in fact I'm going to show 4 must-know glue dot techniques for your crafting and card making. So I want to start by looking at some of the glue dots I use. These are the tiniest, they're called mini glue dots, and they're slightly larger than 1/8 inch size. And I use these a lot for things like sequins and small little embellishments, also ribbons and bows. Now this one is a pop-up version. It's quite thick and it does lift things up. Now I like these because they're clear, and I use them primarily when I am working with vellum, because you can lift vellum or stick vellum with these and they really don't show very much. Now the other glue dots that I like to use are the ultra thin 3/8 inch size glue dots. And I'm going to show you some techniques with these in particular tonight. I want to also point out there is a glue dot dispenser that you can get. It can be used for different sizes. I use it for the smallest, or the mini. I like the dispenser because I can keep it on my desk and I don't lose my box or my roll, so it's very handy that way. And finally, I want to look at the larger glue dots. This one is a 1/2 inch, but you can get them even larger, and they have all kinds of interesting uses, and of course I will show you a technique with these as well tonight. So let's get started. I'm going to be making 3 different cards tonight, and I'm going to start with this size card base and using the 3/8 inch glue dots. This card base is 3 by 4 3/4 size. So I'm going to take these 3/8 inch glue dots and I'm just going to apply them right directly to my card front. And I'm going to stagger them so that they have a bit of a pattern, but it's kind of random. It's basically trying to even up the rows with dots. Now I'm going to fill in some of the blank places with the tiny mini glue dots here and there in the, like I said, in the blank spots. Just be careful when you apply these that you don't touch them with your fingers. You want them to stay as sticky as possible. If you do touch them, you might want to not use that one and just go to the next one on the roll. Now I'm going to apply some glitter to this, and this is going to stick right to my glue dots and create a nice little pattern on the front of my card. Now this is super quick and easy to do. It is a bit messy, I will confess, but I have some tips here for that. Once you've applied the first layer of glitter, just press your fingers down into each dot so it'll kind of ground that glitter back into the glue dot. And now you can take a dryer sheet and use that to wipe your paper clean. It does an excellent job, as you can see here. And I wanted to also show you another glitter cleaning technique. You may have seen it before, but I wanted to purposely dump some glitter here on my glass mat, and I'm going to show you how I use a lint roller. Now this is very sticky. It's a brand new sheet. Normally it doesn't stick quite that hard, but you get the idea here and how well it picks up the teensy tiny little pieces of glitter. Very neat and quick. And here is the card front with that glitter applied, and I'm just going to put a simple "with love" message on it. And look how quick and easy this one would be to put together. I literally probably made this in less than 5 minutes, and it's so cute. Okay, so on to tip 2 with glue dots. This is going to be using Nouveau Gilding flakes. And again, I'm going to pull out my dryer sheet here. I'm going to rub everything with my dryer sheet. I even rub my hands with it. And the reason is gilding flakes are very magnetic. There's a lot of static electricity in them. So the dryer sheets do a great job of knocking out a lot of the static electricity. I'm using Nouveau Gilding flakes, but you can use any gilding flake brand out there. Once you've got the gilding flakes on the surface, you just want to rub and burnish the gilding flakes into the glue dots again to make everything stick. And then you can tap off the excess, and then you can use a stiff brush to further clean up your card front. I use this pretty stiff stencil brush, and it does a great job of removing the excess. I really love how this looks, and it's really quick and easy again. Now, as a cleanup tip, I'm also going to show you how I use the dryer sheet to gather up as much of the loose gilding flakes as I can. Then I'll use my fingers to put it back into the jar. What's left over, I'll go ahead and wipe again with my dryer sheet, it will pick everything up really well. And then finally, I'll use my lint roller brush to pick up any last bits. It does a wonderful job. So now you can see the end result. It's really pretty. I did see a few little places where I didn't like it, where it stuck. So I'll just let you know that you can use a Tombow Mono sand eraser, which will take care of any of the excess gilding flakes that you want to get rid of. Works quite well again. And the mono eraser is very helpful for a lot of things. It'll remove ink as well if you have just little splotches of ink. And I've had some luck with also removing embossing powder, you know, little flecks here and there as well. Alright, so I'm going to now put on some embellishments just to up the game just a tiny bit on this card compared to the first one. Now these are iridescent stars. And I'm going to apply 3 of them by first applying them on the actual tape with the glue dots, peel them off, and then apply them around my sentiment. And that finishes up card 2 using tip 2 of must-know glue dot techniques. Alright, I'm on to tip 3, and stencils are very popular to use right now, but one challenge you have is stopping them from moving around. So I'm first going to show that you can use 4 of the mini glue dots right onto your glass mat. It could also work on a craft mat or anything that you're using to protect your work surface. Now I'm also going to do the same thing with the stencil. 4 little glue dots over on the corner and attaching that to my work surface here really makes it stick. It is not going to move around. Now you can use tape for this too. Some people use the painter's tape, for example. But if you don't have that at your desk and you have to go to the garage to get it like I do, or you just don't have any, if you have glue dots, these will work great, and I'll show you how to get rid of them or remove them when I'm done. So you can see I was able to apply the ink. This is oxide ink using my stencil. It never moved 1 little inch, and I had a great result. So there you go. Now the back where the glue dots are, you can either press them with your fingers to make them non-sticky, use an embossing buddy like this, or just roll them off and that will take care of them. Well, I'm going to show you tip number 4, and that's using these 1/2 inch glue dots, and I'm going to use them to make rolled paper flowers. So here is my beginning paper that I'm going to use to make my flower. It's essentially a circle that you cut into a spiral shape. When you get to the center of the circle, you just need to leave a little piece like this as a base for your flower. Now, one thing I also did is I just ran this through an embossing folder just to give it texture. I like to do that. It makes a plain piece of paper a little bit more special. Now, when you're rolling your flower and you're using an embossed flower like this, you'll want to start it so that it's rolling inward towards you and the embossing piece is, or the embossed part is showing on the right side. So all you need to do is roll this up. I'm going to go really fast here, but it's just rolling it on top of itself until you get to the center. Once you get to the center of your piece, you can see where that base is that we left. I'm going to put the flower on top and let it kind of expand to the size that fits that round piece that we left. Now, a lot of times what people will do is use glue guns and hot glue to finish the flower. I hate glue guns and I burn my fingers with them, so I don't use them if I can get away with it. These 1/2 inch glue dots, or you can get bigger glue dots as well, work wonderfully for flowers. All you need to do is put it in place and stick your paper on the top of it, which forms the rose, press down, and instantly it's done. No mess, no burned fingers, none of those hot glue problems. And look how great it looks. It's perfect. So I made this flower, and I've also made another flower. And in fact, I made 3 like this, a large, medium, and small. And there you go. That's tip number 4. Well, before I go, I'm going to finish up the last card using the pieces made with the tips number 3 and 4. I hope you enjoyed these tips. I tried to show you the things that I've picked up that I haven't seen really on other channels. I'd love to know if you found these useful or not, and if you're going to give them a try. And also, if you have a tip or two that are kind of unusual and unique with glue dots, please leave them here. I'm sure lots of people would love to see your ideas. So I'm going to finish up this card with the third flower and then finally just a tiny sentiment on foam dots, and that's all it took to make this card as well. Well, that wraps up this video and my 4 must-know glue dot techniques. I hope you'll have fun trying these on your own projects. Well, once again, thank you for joining me here today. I really appreciate you visiting, and I've put up here the link to subscribe to my channel and also to a couple more videos that I think you might be interested in seeing if you like this one. So I hope to see you back soon, but until then, keep crafting. Bye!